Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at the USO, the UUP, the GLD, the TLT, and the GDXJ. We follow the daily, weekly, monthly time frames. We use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. If you like these videos, go to my website, sign up, it's free, or click down here in the right-hand bottom corner and subscribe to my YouTube channels. And again, thanks for stopping by, I really appreciate it. Alright guys, 19 million on the day, almost 20. Daily chart, 1.71% up or 16 cents on the day. Gapped up. Sat around inside this bar, so let's see if we chop around next week. We are holding the 20 MA and this lower trend line and the 618 retrace, so let's see what happens with this one here. We almost made it above the 50 MA. We did, never confirmed, straight back down. Pretty much the action, guys. Chop, chop, making new higher lows. Let's see if we can crack this low here and get below into this area, down in this range around the 11 or $9.11 or even $9. That's where it pretty much held. So as long as we stay above this trend line, guys, this one should be okay. Let's go to the weekly real quick though. I want to see where we're doing on the weekly. Yeah, weekly we're still underneath the MAs and stuff. I just wanted to make sure, yeah, we're still underneath the MAs, still in a weaker stance, down sideways. That's why I wanted to look at real quick. So right now, guys, great move for the USO. Short-term trade, not bad. Let's see if we grind higher. Do we stay in this lower range here and chop sideways? A little bit bullish being above the 20, but back below the 50, so watch out for that one. But, with all in all, Yellen on deck coming up, dollar could shoot up, dollar could shoot down, whatever happens. But again, Yellen does not need higher prices with the experiment, period. Let's go to the UUP. Let's see what this one did today. So this one was 1 cent out, pretty much flat. Yeah, again, right down. This is the first area of support down in here, which was gap window, low pivot, 24.32 area. That's what we're holding right now. I still think we're going down here to the 23.97 area. Maybe 24.13 is another. I think that's another gap fill down there too. Yeah, that's a gap fill, and then this is the big pivot down here around 24 bucks. So we'll have some areas to hit if it continues lower. We, pretty much pattern up, down. Up, down, up, down. We didn't go to the trend line in the last couple times, so it's slightly weaker. This was great though. Down, sideways, down, little pop, and then right back down to this gap fill down here too. So right now the dollar's weak stance as well, below the MAs. Let's see what pattern. Let's see if we kind of chop around like we did here and here and here. If we chop around then, I think we have lower prices to come on the dollar. So let's see what happens in the next couple days, and then Friday's close, and we'll try to determine where this thing goes. Now remember, if it does pop up, don't get too excited yet. We still need to get above these moving averages still. A couple gaps to fill as this thing's gapping down. But let's see if we go sideways, grind in this lower range, and then I think we're setting up for some lower prices here. Again though, need some more evidence. I'd like to see 4 or 5 more days going sideways or chopping, or possibly in the next week, Monday, Tuesday, see where this thing can possibly go. So keep an eye on the UUP, guys. Still a little bit weak. Gold. Gold was up a little bit, 5 cents today, but look at this though. They gapped it up. Remember what I talked about. If they want to deal with resistance, just gap it up over it. We got above the trend line, gapped it up over the 50 MA, and the gap fill here too. That was epic, guys. So now we're just chugging around. We did gap up above the 750 retrace as well. It's like magic, guys. So someone wants this thing to go up because they're not dealing with the big resistance as it is grinding just like the markets. Instead, just gap it above, guys. So we still have the high pivot here right around 119.66, and then the 120 even number 2. So let's see if we get another gap up, guys. I'd like to see a gap up above the 120, 121. Then I think we're going here. Then I think we'll retest this double top. It will be the 3rd time, so we might actually pull back again off this. But look for the gap up over it, and then go look for the 124.25 area. If this one starts to slip, then we're watching for areas of support, which will be the 50 MA, the 20, and the 200. Remember, this is the trend line, though. You want to stay above that. If it gets below it, then we're going to have to wait for confirmation and all that stuff. We played the weekly chart confirmation on that one. So a lot of people stopped up here on the daily. We waited, got the great reversal and another reversal. Let's see if we can get up into this area. I'd like to get above the 120 area by Friday's close, so watch for that on the GLD. But right now, guys, nothing wrong. Just ripping, going up again. We had a short-term trade. We pulled it off and we hit here, 118. We took about $2 on that one, and then boom, we're going up. So we did get to the gap today. That's where it pulled back. So let's see if we get sideways action. Next move up. Do we get sideways action, a little bit pull back into maybe the 50 MA into this trend line, and then the pop, or do we just kind of drop it? If we start dropping, we get below the MAs, start filling gaps, then we'll definitely go right back to double bottom around 115 or so. And I might even take this trade one more time. But again, we're in the driver's seat. We're back above the MAs. Nothing wrong. Let's see if this horse will keep going. Again, Janet Yellen on Wednesday. That can ruin our whole picture here. Dollar can rip, gold can drop. You know how it goes, guys, when she talks. Everything's disconnected and does whatever it wants, or whatever the central bankers want. Let's put it that way. The TLT though, guys, nice move up. We had this down sideways. This was a great bearish pattern. It got below the 200 MA, but then popped right above it, held. But we have a trend line here too, just like gold, just like the SPY, just like all the ones we're doing. And another thing too, channel. Got these big channels in a lot of these charts, and it's channeling in a bullish channel where every time it hits the low, it goes right back up, hits the low, goes right back up. But right now, guys, we're back above the MAs, strong stance, have a little bit of a pivot or a doji candle up there, but let's see if this thing chops up here and just continues to just grind away above the moving averages. This 50 MA will start to curl into price. That could set this thing off. You still have some big areas around this green line, the blue line, and then, of course, gap fill, gap fill, gap fill. A lot of stuff going on around here, guys. I want to see the pattern develop here, and then we'll figure out where this thing can possibly go. I want to see on Friday, dude. 4 more days. I'd like to see 4 more days sideways, possibly even go into next Monday or Tuesday, and then we can figure out where this thing can pop. If it drops, then we're going lower, of course, but it's got to stay. It's got to get below the trend line. If it holds a trend line, it keeps chopping, that could possibly send this one higher. So again, nothing wrong. Above the MAs again, strong stance. Let's see how high this thing can go, or see what setup this thing can do in the next 5 to 6 trading days. Let's go to the GDXJ. Wow, right back down. Unbelievable. 66 cents down. So we had a good day, and they pulled it right back below, guys. So we were above these MAs. Good stance. Bam, right back below now. Now we're sitting on top of this trend line, too. So that's not really what you wanted to see, but that's what they're giving us, guys. Let's see if this trend line holds up. I still talk about the set 2743 area. We could go there. We did knock out these higher highs here when we did this little pivot, little dangler here, and then we popped it back up above the MAs. Let's see what happens tomorrow, guys. Right now, that was kind of a weak close, but we're on top of that trend line here. Let's see if it continues to go and then gets down in here, and then et cetera, et cetera. So watch out for 29.34. That's a good area, as well as the $30 even number too. So watch for that. But it's not really giving us too much. We had a nice little retrace where it's trying to grind, but this here, gosh, that's why I don't trade this one a lot. The GDXJ, the JNUG, the DUS, because out of the blue, boom, straight back down 66 cents or 2%. It's like, where did that come from? So watch for that. The JNUG was probably down too as well today. We are still above the trend line here, or right on top, but we did close below the 50 and the 20, so that's a little bit weak. Let's see what we get for the rest of the week. Let's see if we pop back up. If we continue down, probably here, and if we crack that level at 30.96, we're probably going down here to the 29.34. So again, I might get interested around 27.43, but we'll see how it gets down to that level. But right now, a little bit weak inside this bar, and still down sideways, a little bit weak as well. When it cracked that level and came back in, I'm thinking retrace back up and then possibly down. But again, let's see what tomorrow brings us. Tomorrow's a new day. We got some big earnings coming up. These stocks just fly up, fly down, a little bit of everything. Yellen on deck, a lot of stuff going on. So let's give these a little more time. Let's see what the charts bring us in the next couple days, and then we'll try to figure out where these things are going. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thanks for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. God bless. See you on the charts.